Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Track Talk episode number 15. Got a little bit of echo coming through Mark, but we're good now. Pocono tonight, BPL head-to-head. It's the grand finals. Mark, I don't have the payouts from you. I know $50 to the race winner, right? Let's get that out the window first. $50 to the bracket winner, correct?
Yep.
And then is there? I think you mentioned last week there was payouts for others.
Up to fourth.
So
trying to find it.
Final four, I thought.
The final four will get paid. So some people's already made some cash. It's basically when teammates collide tonight. It's the battle of teammates. MFRD teammates coming into tonight. They have both prevailed on each side of the bracket, and now it's come down to one, a race of Pocono. So before we go any further, Dalton Kilroe, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, thank y'all for coming in. How are you boys doing tonight?
Pretty good myself.
I kind of teed y'all both up right there.
I was waiting for him to talk first,
Oh,
and then we both just did the same thing.
I just tend to talk over people.
So Pocono, Dalton, thoughts as I did put together notes, and you finished second at last season at Pocono, I do believe. So
I think the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I won the race before that.
Oh, that's right. It was James Miller running out of gas, and you beat him. I thought it was the other way around, but that was something too.
So talk us through kind of what you expect tonight for Pocono, and then we'll tee up Taylor afterwards.
Well, what I'd like to see is it get nice and spread out, so we can have a pretty good green flag run. Pocono is one of those tracks where you do get spread out pretty easily. You just got to make it past the first 5-6 laps of the run, and then it just goes from there. So I think as long as we can do that, we should have a pretty good run. I know MFRD as a squad has really good speed here. So just looking to have some fun. Not really. I mean, obviously, my competition for the bracket is in here. But I mean, regardless of what happens, it's going to be a fun night, and just one to make sure it's a little battle. If we're not fighting for the win, let's make it close for the bracket.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. If it was you and me for the win and the bracket as well.
Right, that'd be ideal circumstances, right? So for the ones that are not familiar, the bracket is basically between these two. Whoever finishes best, they're the champion, right? Just like your college NCAA bracket seeding, all that. Going through this season,
Mark's like, what are you talking about?
No, I was looking at my camera.
I mean, it is. Okay. It's set up like the NCAA bracket. Anyways, Dalton Kilroe, you're coming in as the points leader tonight overall. Taylor, you're coming in fourth. Dalton, you've had a race win, and let's see.
Does it count though? It was at Daytona.
Yeah, I was about to ask that same question.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So one race win at Daytona. So our Daytona 500, we'll take it. 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Now, Butcher, you've only had 2 top 5s, but you've had 9 top 10s, so you've still been up there in the mix. Butcher, you have an average finish of 9.8. We'll round up and say 10 since the bracket started. And Kilroe, you are 7th since we'll round it up. And last season, we already mentioned you finished 2nd, Kilroe, and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, you finished 5th. So I look for tonight to be really, really interesting as Mark is trying to fix his camera. It's like God said, let there be light right above him.
Olsen or something.
You look good. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on with that.
he's got the
day of reckoning has come for Mr. Mark Arthur.
Weird. Like a UFO's above your head, like getting ready to suck you. We're getting ready to start seeing you levitate, and then you're gone off.
Corey Sherman says, "Look out, there's aliens."
right, for sure. So if we go through the list here, Mark, what's your thoughts on Pocono? We're still gonna be racing out tonight. Are you a fan of Pocono?
I like the corners of Pocono. I mean, I like the flat track stuff, but Pocono's kind of flat, right, except for one corner, and it's pretty fast. So I mean, it's a little different than a short track, flat track. It's a really high speed flat corner, so it's different. I think it's gonna be who can protect that right front the most. I seem to be wearing that pretty good practice earlier.
Passing. Go ahead, Taylor.
Tight. I was gonna say the setup seemed to be pretty tight after, say, 10 laps in particular. But I don't know what y'all were doing, but I kind of experimented with shifting, and it was helping with that. But at the same time, it was kind of costing me as far as like I think it costed me like a lap and a half as far as fuel, and I think it's very marginal to make it on 4 stops just doing it conventionally without shifting. So as always, and especially at Pocono, fuel is definitely going to be a big topic of conversation.
Ooh, that's gross. I heard two things I didn't like there: shifting and fuel. Right. So, but
Gotta love it.
Pocono, it's one of them tracks where you ask somebody you like Pocono, and most people are like, no, I don't like Pocono. I don't mind Pocono a whole lot. Right. It's not a great track by no means, but it's not a track that I groan to or whatever. Whenever we have it pop up on the schedule, as just bear with us for a minute. Mark's trying to fix his holy camera here. While he's doing that, let's cruise on through. We're going to jump on over to Stump the Butcher. This is by far my favorite segment just because I like testing the old Butcher here. And
Love y'all's reaction. What in God's name is that graphic?
You like it?
Brought that up last
Oh my
week.
God.
AI.
I don't remember it for some reason, but
But you'll remember
that's
fucking.
yeah, I remember.
Crazy dog.
I remember the other
Sorry,
stuff. The more
yeah,
important thing.
yeah, that's the question there. You don't remember the pig logo, but you'll remember who won the Daytona 500 39 years ago. All right, Butcher, starting out. Terry Labonte. How many Cup Series championships does Terry Labonte have?
2.
What years?
An easy one. 84 and 96.
Dalton, do you know that?
No.
Not at all. It's not an easy one. That's easy
I
for you.
believe that it's also the record for the longest in between championships, 12 years.
It might be. It might be. You're probably right. If you think that, you're definitely, I'm going to assume, right. Okay, number 2. Now, this one is fairly easy. This is kind of teed up for Mark, but you can answer it because I think he's busy. Who won the 97 Daytona 500?
Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, well, anytime you say it for me.
That was a 1, 2, 3 for Hendrick, by the way.
Really?
And
Who?
And at the time, Hendrick was battling. I think he was in a battle with leukemia.
Really?
So that was quite a way for him to take his mind off of that.
I don't even have him down, but that's cool. I didn't know that. That's why I like this right here because the stories like that. Do you know who finished 1, 2, and 3, or you just remember it was Hendrick?
Gordon, Labonte, and Ricky Craven.
Wow, nice. Alrighty. Question number 3: Who won the 2015 Irwin Tools, or otherwise known 2015 Bristol Night Race? I was at this race too. Fun fact: I was at that race. I'm a Kyle Busch fan. He led the most laps, and
I think he got busted for speeding or something.
Speeding at the. It wasn't even really at the end. I mean, we were getting close to the end, right? But it wasn't necessarily at the end. Yep, Joe Logano. All right, this is kind of like a who's that driver. This driver only won a total of 7 NASCAR Cup Series races in his 19-year career. Of those 19 years, though, 17 of them were actually full-time seasons. 2 of them were basically he ran the Daytona 500 to start the season out. This driver drove for.
I believe.
Go ahead.
I think I know who it is, but I'll let you continue with the clues.
I want you to guess because I think you do know who it is probably.
I think it's Jamie McMurray.
It's old Jamie McMurray. Old Jamie Mac. And the other clue was this driver drove for a few different race teams throughout his career, but spent most of his time at Chip Ganassi Racing. Jamie McMurray. All right. Number 5. What year did Jeremy Mayfield intimidate the Intimidator, as it's called, Dale Earnhardt at Pocono for the race one?
2000.
Year 2000. You're right. Sticking with Jeremy Mayfield, his final win came on August 25th in 2005 at which track? Multiple choice. You got
Michigan.
Well, never. You don't need multiple choice. Good God Almighty, he knows Jeremy Mayfield stats. Like that was just so random. I was going to Racing Rayford, so I saw him. I was like, oh, hey, let's pick. He's random.
You know something interesting? Because like sometimes just when I'm bored during the day, I just do random like pickup cup races just to pass time and like practice wreck avoidance. I've seen Jeremy Mayfield actually in it, and that's actually him too.
Really?
Yeah, actually in some of those, like unofficial races. That's
right.
Pretty neat.
It is. That's really cool. Let's sidebar from that. When we all started out on iRacing, we all did officials, right? I mean, we ran them like crazy. So you've seen Jeremy Mayfield with some other NASCAR or motorsports people you've raced with?
There's a ton. There's Caden
Right.
Honeycutt in a couple of leagues. Raja Caruth, Carson Hocevar. Who else? Well, Andre Castro. Yeah, that's right. We were talking about that before we came on the air about how I was in the NIS Cook 600, and I think he finished second, and I finished in the middle of the field because I burned my crap.
Right.
And it was cool that he got to compete in the Chicago street course race, although some unfortunate stuff happened, but it was cool that he was able to get a ride and compete.
Right. Just to get looked at.
Yeah, just to get his feet wet. Well, literally, because it's been pouring in Chicago.
It's been like some of the worst flooding there's been. I saw a picture of a police car that's like half submerged underwater, and he just went into a call, came back, and it's flooded. Like I don't know how true that is, right? But I saw the picture of it. All right,
Mother Nature just picks the most inopportune time to spoil stuff for racing.
Right. Let's talk about Chicago Street Course. Are you a fan, Dalton? I haven't heard you in a while. Are you a fan, Dalton?
I haven't seen jack about this track, so I don't know. I'm on the fence.
I know, Mark. Are you alive over there? Or did the aliens get you?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix crap.
All right, he is alive, so that's good.
I've been trying to think on these questions and tailor answers before I even.
He's so fast, bro.
Bump two brain cells together. So.
All right, number 7. Who won the 2006 Aaron's 499 at Dega on April 30th, 2006?
Jimmy Johnson.
Good God Almighty.
That race was rained out and run on a Monday, and I was in the 5th grade at the time, and I was pissed that I couldn't stay home from school and watch it.
That's insane. All right. And
what kind of color shoes did you wear?
Right.
Oh, I don't know. Probably white or black. I couldn't friggin' tell you.
The Butcher. The governor, he said, who won the 1966 Smoky Mountain 200? Butcher. Probably not gonna know it, huh?
What track is that? Is that Bristol?
No, there's a dirt track I know down in Smoky Mountain. It may be called Smoky Mountain.
Oh, of course, it's a dirt thing. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Dirt's for farming, Sam and Sam. All right. In 2008, NASCAR changed what they called Chase for the Cup playoff format from 10 drivers to 12 drivers. We did this previously with when they first started.
I thought that was 07, but anyway.
Okay, my thing said 2008. You may be right. It could be 07, 08 season. Who knows? But okay, it don't matter. They moved to 12 drivers, right? Name the 12. Do you know them? You ain't got to go in order either unless you just know it.
I know Johnson won the championship.
Right.
Edwards finished second to him. Greg Biffle was in it. Gordon, Stewart, Kenseth.
No, you're going too fast now. Yeah, keep going.
Dale Jr., that was his first year with Hendrick. Clint Boyer. How many is that? 7,
9.
8?
I think you got 9.
Kyle Busch, because that was his first year in Gibbs.
I don't know. I don't want to say this.
I lost track of how many I've named.
I can't. I don't know if you said this guy's name. I think you did, but if you said this guy's name, you got 11.
Oh, okay, 11. Denny Hamlin. I haven't said him yet.
That's who I was thinking. Okay, so and there's one more.
And
you may have said this guy too. Honestly, when you were firing off, I don't think you did. He said Biffle. You didn't say this guy. I don't think. You want me to tell you, or you want
to say Jeff Gordon? Yeah, I did.
You got Gordon.
Kevin Harvick. I don't think I said Harvick.
I thought you did say Harvick. All right, I'm just going to ask you outright because you have named them all now, except this one guy. But you may have said him. I may not heard you. Did you say Jeff Burton?
Oh, Burton. No. Yeah, I didn't say him yet.
Oh, so that was the one right there. That's still freaking insane. That I think deep down you still know the 12, right? Just couldn't think of Burton right then. All right, number 2 more. Number 9. How many race wins did DW have? Darrell Waltrip in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Career, I think it was 84.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, because I can't remember if it's with him or not, but I feel like he argues or jabs with Bobby Allison because doesn't Bobby have 85? Waltrip has 84, and he feels like one got taken away from him, or something like that.
It's a weird thing because I saw a YouTube video about it. Like I don't remember what year and what racetrack, but probably I think it was like in the 60s. But it's like a race that like never finished and was like never officially put in the record book.
Right.
That evidently Bobby Allison, quote unquote, won, but wasn't given the credit. So I guess there's a dispute there as far as if he has 84 or 85.
Right. All right, and the last one. This is a two-parter. What year did Bill Elliott, awesome Bill from Dawsonville, win the Daytona 500? What years? Excuse me.
Oh, we did this one before, by 85 and 87.
Yep, and Bill Elliott's final race win came at where?
Rockingham in 2003. And then the very next week is when he was dominating Homestead, was going to make it 2 in a row to end the year, and then had a flat tire on the very last lap.
So we didn't stump the butcher again. Taylor, I'll be honest, I don't know where you store this information at. It's kind of like useless fact information, but
in this large ass head, you know that.
It's freaking awesome that you can just be like, shit, let me see. Denny Hamlin, like you just rattle them off. So that's
well, you also said this number right there too. So
yeah, but that, I mean, it was 11 out of 12, right? I couldn't really get around it, you know.
Here, I got one for you. Today is Richard Petty's 86th birthday.
Really?
Yep. July 2nd, 1937.
I honest to God, I mean, I knew that's old. Don't get me wrong, but I thought he was older than that. Really? How did you say? 86.
And I think that's the age that his father Lee lived to. Obviously, hopefully he sticks around for quite a weird. It's gonna be. I can't tell you how strange it's gonna be next year to see a Petty affiliated vehicle be a Toyota.
Oh, you talking about with the Legacy making it switch?
Yeah.
I think that's crazy, but that explains why. I didn't even know that till
times have changed, but it's just still.
It's weird.
Very
money talks.
Peculiar. It really does. You
money
don't have
talks. I mean,
unless you're Tony Stewart.
Right.
You heard what he said this week, which I like his mentality there.
I wish NASCAR could get back to that, right? But it's hard.
I think everybody does.
It costs so much money to get in, right? To stay in once you get in, that daddy's money will keep you there, right? All right, so I had a thing set up for Dalton where we can find out some stuff about him, but this is his second time on the show, and I think we went over that. So we're just gonna go through and get some of y'all's favorites, meaning like favorite car, favorite track, that kind of stuff. Mark, we'll go to you first. I know your favorite driver is Gordon. If you had to pick a current favorite driver, I think I've asked you this before too, but current favorite driver nowadays?
Kyle Larson.
That's what I thought. And
good choice.
Kilrow, favorite current driver?
I gotta go with AJ.
The Dinger. I like that. I like that a lot. Butcher?
Well, I got a couple. Well, Chase when he's not being a knucklehead. Harvick, but he's retiring. So I guess my next would be Blaney.
Those are 3 solid picks.
Blaney's a good one.
And I'm glad because I've read online that he is actually experiencing some concussion
I saw that.
Concussion-like syndromes, but luckily he's cleared the race.
He said he
actually race today.
He said he felt 100% yesterday. That's what the article said. So I think that was posted on Friday. That and then on Thursday he felt 100%. He just didn't want to miss the race. Right now, I get that.
Did you see his quote though for door bumper clear? Say he would actually pay for the.
Yeah, he said I'd pay for the safe barriers everywhere. That's what
I'm starting to like old watermelon man too.
Ross, you can't. I don't know how. I mean, he's annoying if he wrecks you or your driver, right? But he's going hard. 120.
He's making noise.
Right. Exactly.
Like, that's
they
pay hard quote about as long as they're making noise, whether they're booing or cheering.
Right. And they're making so much money. They don't need to go out there and half-ass it, right? That's what they're paid to go out there and go as hard as you can, lap after lap.
Plus the point system, how it is anymore.
Right, yeah, exactly.
There's so much more at stake than there used to be.
To add on to mine about the noise, close seconds probably. I can't believe I'm ever saying this, but Kyle Busch.
My God, I'm a Kyle Busch fan.
Ever since he became over to RCR, Dale Jr. even said it best.
God's sake.
I'm not liking this.
He basically said he drives for Chevy. All sins have been forgiven.
Right.
He's still a nutsack.
I don't like his soft side.
I'm a Chevy person, and 2 of my favorites are in Fords. So, I mean,
right.
Okay.
But I think Kyle did get a
I'll
lot of
give that
hate just because he did drive for Toyota, right? I mean, that was a lot of it for sure. And he brought a lot of it on himself. But I personally, like I said, I don't like the nice boy Kyle. I like it whenever he just don't really give a
Don't give two hoots.
Well,
Yeah, don't care.
Put it this way: I thought it would take him a little while longer to reach the success that he's had this year. But 3 wins so far, and
knocking it out of the park.
yeah, I
And
mean, I think he and Byron. If I
The
looked at
Allen Iverson attitude didn't come from Toyota though.
that's true.
His attitude is all in.
Well, look at his brother's attitude when he was younger too. Kurt was.
I thought when you said Iverson, you were gonna refer to him as far as practice. Cool.
Well, no, it's just I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
You know,
that too.
That kind of attitude like that, you know, it's like, well, I hate it when any driver gets that kind of attitude, even when they don't stop doing autographs, stuff like that, because when they first start making it, right, they're dying for you to ask them for their autograph. And then
Absolutely.
once they make it, then they just turn their back on the fans and just like, oh, I ain't got time for you. No, I don't have time to sign your shirt or whatever.
Well, I don't have time to watch you then either.
Yeah, right. So I wish none of them would be like that.
That's why Carl Edwards was such a big, still is to this day, obviously, a very big fan favorite.
I truly think
One of the reasons why.
I truly think it won't be this year because we're too far into it. But within the next two or so years, I truly expect Carl Edwards to be in a car. We're not talking full time, but and I think more than one race too.
Him
I know
like
one
a Greg
thing.
Biffle.
Oh yeah, Greg Biffle next year at one of the road courses in an Xfinity car. I do know one thing: Carl is not going to, and probably won't, and for good reason, return until the car safety improves.
That is true. I mean,
that's a whole nother discussion.
Right,
Yep.
right.
He only got a little bit of time left.
They went backwards with this car, right? When it comes to that. All right, let's blaze through this real quick. Favorite track, Mark? I've always wondered this about you. What's your favorite?
Martinsville.
That's what I thought. Martinsville's my favorite.
Yes.
Butcher.
You know me. I'm not a one driver, one track guy. I mean, as much as the plate tracks are as crazy as it is, and as knucklehead
Go do that on the
crazy
interstate.
as they drive, they are entertaining though. But
Do that, you sleep.
Yeah.
I do enjoy some mile and a halves like Charlotte, and some short, and of course the short tracks, and especially since I live pretty close to it, I really like Richmond.
I love Richmond. I love it. I get down with that. Dalton.
I got a couple because I can't pick one. Texas, Michigan, New Hampshire, Bristol, Pocono. Those are like my 5.
I hope you mean Old Texas.
Nope.
Wait, that list, like
Really?
it had no correlation to each track. They just kept flowing off, and then you ended it with Pocono. Give me those one more time. What was that?
Michigan, Texas, Bristol, New Hampshire, and Pocono.
I don't.
And then if I had to throw another one out there, throw out Indy.
That'll make Chris Legou and Rick Hammond happy.
That's gross. That's a foul list, Dalton. I don't know. That's crazy.
Gotta throw a Kansas in there for good measure.
Right. All right, Dalton. We've asked the Butcher this. I'm gonna ask you this. You've been at BPL hell longer than I have, right?
Since the beginning.
Me too.
I didn't know that about you, Butcher. I thought you got here like 2 or 3 seasons before me. All right. Anyways, Dalton, if you had that magic wand, the magic pencil to do whatever you wanted with BPL, what would you do?
Use your words carefully. No, I'm kidding.
God.
One thing. What's one glaring issue? Don't hold nothing. Just tell us straight. Just tell us whatever you think.
I would allow it to where we can run. I would go back to where we run at a certain track more than just one time per season, where we could actually repeat tracks besides Talladega.
We used to do that.
Yeah.
Right, and I can see why we went back to just we're gonna run it once, but I would make it to where we could go back to running certain tracks multiple times.
I've always wanted this, Mark. I don't know if I've ever even asked you and y'all may have done it before I was here. Have y'all ever followed NASCAR schedule?
We did that for like 2 or 3 seasons.
Well, we modified it where we had Phoenix be our first race, and then we moved everything else back. because we were also running in a Saturday night league
Yeah,
that was
NASCAR.
open setup.
That was the same schedule, just Phoenix was first
Right.
because we voted on our last race. So we did Phoenix first, and then the
You
whole
cut out one
NASCAR
of the extra
schedule
races,
from
I think.
there. And then we cut the double Poconos out because
Yeah.
they're double headers.
Right.
So we cut one of the Poconos out, did Phoenix first, did our season throughout, and then vote because we've always voted on the last race. So, but we did that for a while. Then COVID screwed everything up, right? So you really couldn't follow their schedule.
Is that what got you off? Was COVID?
It is. And then so we said, well, let's just do modified. We've always voted what to run, right? So we said just do a modified schedule, cut out all the double tracks, because some people it gets boring, right? So it's like we go to Charlotte, then we go to Charlotte, we go to Pocono, we go to Pocono, we do Bristol, and we do Bristol. So it's just doubled up everything, and instead of doing doubles, we were like, let's take some of the doubles out and
Right.
add tracks that they don't go to, like the Rockingham. And we don't do
Twin
North
Ring.
Wilkesboro, thank God, but we added Twin Ring because that's a unique track, in Iowa and Lucas Oil and tracks like Milwaukee that we did last week. It lets you get back to some of those. I wish NASCAR would go back to, right? Some
Unless
of
you
the
see
old
different tracks.
route tracks where you don't just have 1.5-mile tracks all year with a couple different tracks thrown in.
You follow NASCAR nowadays, you're going to be doing you might as well go ahead and bring the GT3 car out too. You're doing some road course racing.
Yeah.
Right.
Get that Garage
Like a quarter
56
of the
car out.
schedule.
Right. The Garage 56 car. That's what we need out here. All right, boys.
NASCAR one just seemed to get boring, right? So we just try to throw in some
I get that.
Throw in some of those old school tracks and get back some of that short track racing again. And I don't know.
I get
Seems
that.
to work out.
I like the schedule. We're in a little bit of a low period right now as far as how I enjoy the tracks. Right, my opinion don't matter though. We all have them, right? But like these next three races, I'm like, oh man, good grief, All right, let's go over to the pick'em of the week. True Sim Productions pick'em. Mark, you got another point last week. You picked our co-host in here. You picked the Butcher.
Taylor, yep.
And that's going to bring your total up to 8. I have 3, and the Butcher, who got in here late, has 1, but I thought it was 2. Oh, the guest has 2, so we got to fix that. So me and Taylor got to make it. Taylor's going to come in middle of the season and beat me. We can never get you to quit claiming points, Mark. Taylor's going to for real beat me because my pick finished third out of us 2.
If we get some of our picks to quit screwing up.
Yeah, Cody Gibson. I tried to pick you 2 weeks in a row, Cody. Which would have got you? The first week I tried to pick you, you won the damn thing. And then the second time, when I couldn't pick you.
Yeah, he cheated that week.
Do what? You say
he cheated that week.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Harsh.
All right.
He probably never even went camping. He probably sat at home.
Turning the laps all week long.
Get you to let your guard down.
I mean, I went to pick him, and Mark said, "Oh no, can't pick him." I think Mark knew he'd been practicing all week too.
I said he's supposed to be
I think Mark knew. I think Mark pulled this camp thing out of his tail end. Just he didn't want me to get a point. All right, Butcher, you're low man on totem pole. We'll let you have the honors. You go first. He told me he had a few, so let's see who he thinks.
I did have a couple in mind. You know what? I'm gonna go with kind of off the board here a little bit. I'm gonna go with Dustin Ping.
Dustin Ping, I like it.
He performed really well at the road courses.
He does.
He finished third at Watkins Glen, and Pocono is pretty close to a road course.
Right.
So I mean,
the corner is definitely pretty weird.
Shot tonight, and I did notice a couple times in practice he spun out a couple times, but I think he might have been experimenting a little bit. But I think he'll be up there.
Right on. I'm gonna, Mark. I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
I hope he's there. He's been running really good. If he can get out of trouble, had a little bit of a beef rivalry between him and Chris Carroll as of late. So hopefully Carroll will stay away from my pick, and he'll stay away from Carroll. I'm gonna go Mike Hamlin. I'm gonna go down. I'm going down with the 15, who is the 27, I believe now, or 25, something like that.
28
car.
28.
Yeah. I'm gonna ride or die with Mr. Mike Hamlin. I'm gonna give him the curse of being picked by me. And who do you have, Mr. Makata?
I'm gonna go with Philip Van Vliet.
Oh, Van Vliet. I like that pick.
Runs pretty well at Pocono.
I like that pick. All right, we're late. Final thoughts, Mark Pocono.
Go ahead, Dalton, pick.
Oh, well, I wasn't even doing the guess. Yeah, Dalton, you can pick. I don't have a list, so you can't pick. You can pick. I'll type you in.
I'm gonna pick Derek Paulson just so that way
Okay.
he gets the curse and doesn't outfox me on fuel like he did last year.
Give me another pick, just because. One more.
Non-FRD guy.
Chris Berg.
That's a good pick. So
Mr. Iceberg himself.
I'm putting Iceberg in here because Paulson's already been picked by the guest. I know. All right, so Chris Berg is Dalton, Dustin Ping is Taylor's, I'm Mike Hamlin, and Philip Van Fleet is Old Man Mark Arthur. Final thoughts, Mark, before we close up shop.
Protect that right front. Stay out of trouble. Hopefully, we don't have many cautions.
We're going to be live here on True Sim Productions. Going to have Terror Bear, I believe. He'll be back, I think. And Samuel Baumgarten up in the broadcast booth calling all the action in about 30 minutes. So we're late. We got to get out on track. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, folks, we'll see ya.
Yeah.